So again, we will be talking about parallel lines cut through by this diagonal line. It's called transversal. Again, it's just a fancy name, but basically you've got parallel lines and then you've got line cutting through. And the line is called transversal. Okay. Now, so here you've got this two parallel lines, right? And then we've got this transversal. Now, this transversal will create four angles. Here's your angle 1, angle 2, angle 3, angle 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? So you've got 8 different angles. Well, before that, let's talk about some symbols because I need you guys to learn that. First one is this. My computer did not have a proper, I think this is a parallel. The two lines, that means it's a parallel, okay? So here is the first thing that I want you to write in your notes. If you see A, some teachers will write little diagonally. So if you see A 2/B, that means line A and line B are parallel. That's parallel symbol, okay? Next, you will see this sign often in geometry. Equal sign with a squiggle line on top of it. It means congruent. Now, what does congruent means? Congruent is just another fancy name for equal or the same, okay? So why not just use an equal sign? I don't know. Well, when you're talking about like a matching angle measurements, matching length of the side of a triangle or something like that, then rather than saying equal in math, we will use congruent symbol, okay? Hey, Karina, how are you doing? Glad to see you. Okay, so that's two things, parallel and congruent, okay? Again, congruent simply means equal, okay? And it doesn't have that equal sign inside of a congruent symbol, isn't it? So it's easy to remember. Now, first, let's talk about this, okay? When you have, so line A and line B are parallel. So we've got two parallel lines, okay? So line A and line B are parallel. And then we've got this transversal, okay? Now we've got 8 angle measurements. However, even though there are 8 different angle measurements, there are actually only 2 different angle measurements. In other words, there are a bunch of angles that are going to be the same. For example, let's say angle 1 is, let's say like a 120 degrees. Okay. That makes angle 2 to be, what is it? 60 degrees, right? Because angle 1 and angle 2 are straight line. They are supplementary. It has to add up to be 180. So it has to be 120. Then the other one will be 60 degrees because 120 plus 60 will be 180. You okay with that? All right. So now, can you figure out all the rest of the angle measurements? How about angle 3, angle 4? And how about angle 5, 6, 7, and 8? Yeah, okay. How about angle? Let's start with angle 3. What do you think angle 3 is going to be? If you just focus angle 3, aren't they vertical angle? Angle 2 and angle 3, aren't they vertical angles? That means that angle 3 has to be, it has to be 60 degrees as well, because opposite angles are equal. Now, how about angle 4? What do you think angle 4 is going to be? It's got to be 120 because they are also vertical angles, right? And then now, how about this 5, 6, 7, and 8? They are, since lines are parallel, that means if you just kind of squish that, the two parallel line getting closer and closer, wouldn't they be the same angle measurements? Would you agree with that? Yeah. Thank you, Elizabeth. That means angle 5 is going to be also 120. That makes it number 6, angle 6 to be 60 degrees. And that makes number 8 to be 120. And number 7 is... Okay, sorry about that. That was my heater. So essentially, even though there are eight angle measurements, but there are only 2 angle measurements, and all the others are all the same. It's either 120 or 60 in this case. Yeah. So that's what this means. Angle 2 is congruent with angle 3, and so is angle 6 and 7. So 1, 2, 3, 6, 7 are all the same. And then 1, 4, 5, 8, they are all the same. Okay. All right. So that's one thing. So will you write this down in your notes? Does anybody need any more time? Let me give you a 1 minute. Okay. Are you okay? Does anybody need more time? Hey, Leonardo, how are you doing? Are you okay on copying this down? Do you need more time? Looking good, Leonardo. Thank you. All right, let's get going. Now, there are four things that I want you to remember, okay? And they are over here: corresponding angles, alternate interior angles, same side interior angles, alternate exterior angles. It sounds really fancy, but this is what it is, okay? Now, corresponding angles are, it is, so you've got two parallel lines. It's one outside and one inside. Okay. And those are called corresponding angles. It's sort of like this angle and this angle. Those are corresponding angles. And corresponding angles are always equal to each other. A equals B. It doesn't need to be on the right side or left side. It could be, so one outside of the parallel lines and then one inside of parallel lines, not right adjacent, right next to each other, but far apart. Again, those are called corresponding angles. It corresponds, it matches. Right? Basically, if you squish the parallel line closer and closer together, basically that angle, so here's the angle A and angle B, they will eventually match. They will be on top of each other. And that's why it's called corresponding angles. If two parallel lines get squished and squished, that corresponding angles will get closer and closer, right? And then eventually it matches. Okay? So those are corresponding angles. Okay. It could also be left side too. This angle, this angle. It could be this angle and this angle. They are all equal to each other, isn't it? They're all, in this case, the above example, it's going to be 60 and 60 or 120 and 120. They matches, okay? So this is called corresponding angles. And they are equal. Okay. Is everybody okay? Now let's move on to the alternate interior angles. Okay. Now what is that? Again, it's just a little fancy name, right? But it's alternate interior angles. Interior means inside, right? And then alternate means one is on the left, one is on the right. That's what alternate interior angle is. So we are talking about this angle and this angle. Or it could be this angle and this angle. Now, what do you notice about alternate interior angles? They are same, isn't it? Okay. Again, alternate interior angles are equal to each other. And I want you to remember that. Okay. Essentially, what we're going to do in today, later as our homework, is something like this. If I will say, this is 25 degrees, and then if I say, what is X? Well, X has to be 25, right? X has to be 25. Why? Because they are alternate interior angles. Alternate interior angles are going to be equal to each other. right? And so that's the kind of the direction that we are heading to, okay? So we've got corresponding angles, we've got alternating angles. Now let's talk about same side interior angles. It is this angle and this angle. Or it could be this angle and this angle. It is the same side, but it's interior. It's inside of parallel lines. So that's A and B. Now, are they equal to each other? Is A and B the same? It's kind of like this one, isn't it? Like a 120 and 60. They are not the same. They are those guys, 120 and 60, they are same side interior angles. And they are not equal to each other. But what can you say about 120 and 60? Aren't they supplementary? If you add them together, won't they become 180 degrees? Yeah. So that's the rule that I want you to remember. And the same side interior angles, A plus B, the angle A and angle B combined together is always going to be 180 degrees. So same side interior angles are supplementary. Now you know what I just said, isn't it? Exactly what that means. Same side interior angles are supplementary, meaning they add up to be 180. Okay. You guys are with me? Yeah. The last question, alternate exterior angles. Alternate means one is on the left side, one is on the right side. Okay, that's what that. And then this time is the exterior angle. That means outside of parallel lines. So we are talking about, let's change the color here. Let's do blue again. It is this angle, this angle. So alternate means one is the right side, one is the left side. And an exterior angle, outside angle. So like A and B. And what do we know about that? They are the same, isn't it? Okay. So alternate exterior angles are the same. A equals B. And that would be the same. Also, this angle and this angle. A equals B. And those are called alternate exterior angles. Where are you guys? Are you ready to move on? Who needs more time to write this down? Is everybody okay? Can we move on? One last call. Who needs more time? Leonardo, are you doing okay? Great, looking great, Leo. Okay, let's move on. Okay, Juliana, go ahead. We'll wait for you. Let's see. I don't know if I want to do all the. Oh, it's all messed up. Actually, you know what? Rather than doing this examples, let's just dive right into the into assignment problem. Okay. Let's wait for Julian. He'll come back quickly. Is anybody doing anything for this weekend? Any plan for this weekend? Or how about spring break? Spring break is coming up in about 2.5 weeks. Is anybody Somebody have any plan for the spring break? It's kind of hard to go anywhere nowadays.
I plan to do chores around my house, and clean
Okay.
it.
That's your spring break? Yeah, that's probably what I will end up doing. I have a lot of house things that I need to catch up on. I need to split woods. I've got lots of woods in front of my house. I need to split.
You have a fireplace,
I
Mr.
have
Tom?
a fireplace, yeah. So when we lost the power a couple weeks ago, luckily we had firewoods, and so that was pretty good. It kept us warm. One division, one division. Is that a TV show, Julian? Do you like that show? Do I want to watch it? I'm gonna write it down because I'm gonna forget. I'm gonna check it out. Since Julian says it's a good show, it must be a good TV show. Okay. All right. Well, we're just gonna skip the examples. Let's just dive right into the examples. Okay. Now, first half of the assignment is about recognizing the name. Okay. And I want you. So let's practice that. It's very important that you build this skill. Okay. So everybody. Okay. Now I want you to write down the diagram too. I know it's going to be it's going to be just quick, right? Just to draw two lines and then transversal and then write down Y and this one is X, okay? So this is number one.
So is this the assignment or the practice?
Yeah, this is the assignment. We are just doing the assignment together right now. Okay, so this
Okay.
is homework 2.3, okay? Yeah, that's a good question. Thank you for asking that. So write it down. Now, this is all I want you to do. Okay. I want you to name that relationship. What would you call that X and Y out of those four things? Does anybody remember? So now I go back.
Same side interior.
Now, if you say same side interior, both of them should be inside the two parallel lines. That's the
Okay.
same side interior. But
Alternate interior angle.
This one is outside, right? One is outside, one is inside, and they're on the same side, isn't it? Okay, just remember that. Now, isn't it this one right here? One is outside, one is inside, and that is actually called corresponding angles. Yeah, Harley, Jessica, thank you. Would you agree with that, everybody? This is corresponding angle. Corresponding angles are always on the same side of the line, and then one is outside of the two lines, and then one is inside, far apart. This is corresponding angles. So, I'm sorry we're going back and forth, but that's what we have to do. So this is, let's write it down, corresponding. This is a corresponding angle. Now, second, I want you to do one more thing. What is the relationship between X and Y? Well, again, we're going to go back. Sorry, we will make you dizzy. Corresponding angles are, they are equal to each other, right? They are the same. So, we go back. We would say X equals Y. They are equal to each other. That's it. That's number one. Okay. Number two. Now, some of them will not be one of those four that we've just learned. For example, number two. What do you call X and Y? Does anybody have is there any taker on number two? What would you name it? That relationship between X and Y. Anybody? Just take a look at it. Is a number two? Yeah, actually, no. Yeah. First of all, they're on. Yeah, they're on the same side for sure. But same side interior angles are like this angle and this angle, but they're on the right next to each other, isn't it? So this is not same side interior angles. But isn't this actually? It does. Maybe we should read the instruction, right? We've got corresponding, alternate interior angle, alternate exterior, same side interior, and then we've got also vertical angles and linear pair. Isn't this a linear pair? So this is, you've got, isn't this angle and this angle, isn't that linear pair? And the relationship is, linear pair is supplementary, right? X plus Y will be equal to 180. That's what linear pair is. They're not equal to each other, but if you add them up, it becomes 180. You guys okay? Now you know what to do. How about number three? So number three is where you have a parallel lines, this angle and that angle. What would you call that? All the answers are out of those six things. One every corresponding, alternate interior, alternate exterior, same side interior, vertical, linear pair. It's one of those six, nothing else. Which one would that be? It is alternate interior angles. Very good. Let's write it down. Alternate interior. Now, what is the relationship between X and Y? They are. So look into the alternate interior angles. What's the relationship between the two angles? Are they equal to each other or do they add up to be 180? Which one is it? They are equal. X has to be equal to Y. Those two angles are the same. You guys with me? How about number 4? Maybe it might be a little bit hard for some of you to recognize, but it will. I think you will get better at it. You will get better at it. Okay, just keep trying. Okay, so again, draw that diagram. Okay, just 2 lines, transversal. Here is a Y. Here is an X. Now, what do you call that? They are called same side interior. Do you notice that X and Y are inside of the 2 parallel lines? So that's interior angles, and they're on the same side. So it is same side interior. Now, what is the relationship between X and Y? Do they look like equal to you? Do you think X and Y are the same measurement? No, it doesn't even look the same, is it? Right? One is X is pretty big, and one is pretty small. So they're not the same. But what's the relationship? Thank you, Saif. It's X plus Y equals 180. Yeah? You get that? Okay, number 5. What do you call that X and Y? Again, the answer choices are right here. There are 6 of them. Which one is it? Any taker on that? Number 5? What would you name it? Now, if you want to call it alternate interior, both letters better be inside. But you notice that the one is outside and one is inside, right? So it cannot be alternate interior. Very good. Anybody else? How about just focus on this part right here? You've got 2 lines and it's one and then the opposite side. Now, what do you call that, guys? It's called, Janet, you've got it. It's a vertical angles, isn't it? This is, okay, now my monitor, okay, I thought it was frozen. It is vertical. angle. And what do you know about vertical angles? They are the same. They are congruent. So x equals y. Okay. Are you guys with me? Does anybody need more time to catch up on writing? You guys okay? All right, let's work on number 6. How about number 6? How would you name that? Both of them are outside of a parallel lines, isn't it? That means they are called exterior. Exterior means outside. You can say like an exterior of my house. That means like outside of the house wall. Okay? I need to paint the exterior of my house or something like that. Okay, so that means outside. So outside of parallel lines, and there are one is on the right side and one is on the left side. So that's alternate exterior. Very good. Okay, let's write it down. Alternate. Alternate means one is the right side, one is the left side. Alternate. Okay. Alternate exterior angles. Okay. Now, what do we remember about alternate exterior? Are they going to be add up to 180? Or do they look like the same? I know we always cannot rely on how it looks, but what do they look like? Do they look like the same to you? Do you think X and Y are the same? Yeah, they are. Okay. That means X is going to be equal to Y. If X is 120 degrees, Y is going to be 120. They're going to be the same. 120 is just a made up number, by the way. Okay. Number 7. We've got 4 more to go. How would you name number 7? One is inside, then one is exterior, but they are on the same side. And that is called, isn't it? Just like this. They are called corresponding. Corresponding angles are always one is outside, one is inside. And they are far apart. Okay. And they correspond. Just like this one. Here, here. And that's exactly what we have. This is corresponding. Nice job, Janet. Jessica, thank you. They are corresponding angles. And what's the relationship between X and Y? Do they look like the same to you? They look like the same, isn't it? So X has to be equal to Y. Corresponding angles. Okay. How about number 8? Very good, Jessica. Anybody else? Yeah. So Leo, I want you to take a look at it. One is outside. One is also, the other one is also outside. They are both outside. They are exterior. And they are, one is on the left side and one is on the right side. So that's alternate. So isn't that kind of same thing as number 6? One is out, oh, both of them are outside. One is on the left, one is on the right. So this is, again,
Alternate exterior.
alternate exterior angles.
Because the both of them are outside. So
That's
the
right. And they're all outside of the parallel lines. So that's exterior. And one is on the left side, one is on the right side. So that's alternate. And they are equal to each other.
y equals x equals y.
Y equals X, X equals Y. It doesn't matter which one are you, yeah, very good. Okay. 2 more to go. Number 9. Very good. Jessica, anybody else? What would you name number 9? You guys getting the hang of this? Number 9 is, again, if you just focus on this part right here, just forget about everything else. What do you see? You've got 2 lines and this angle and this angle. And that's a vertical angle. It's very good, Saif. Anybody else? Yeah, does that make sense, Logan? This is vertical angles. I know we've got this parallel line going on. So you're thinking, well, is this corresponding angles or is this an alternate interior, whatever, right? But if you just focus on this part, here's 2 lines and they are opposite angles. So this is vertical angles, okay? And vertical angles are equal to each other. Right? So X equals Y. How about the last one? What would you call number 10? Very good, Jessica. I think you've got it. Again, both X and Y are inside, isn't it? Inside of parallel lines. So that's interior, okay? So X and Y are inside, so that's interior. One is on the left side, one is on the right side. So that's an alternate. So now say if in order for this to be corresponding angles, corresponding angle has to be always the same side, like this one and this one. That's corresponding, okay? But this one is left side and one is on the right side, isn't it? Right? So this is not corresponding angles. but they are, again, they are inside. And then one is on the left side and one is on the right side. So that's alternate. So this is alternate interior angles. And they
Alternate
are,
interior.
yeah. And what's the relationship, Leo, about between X and Y?
Because the y is inside the line and the x is inside. So
Yeah.
it
And
is,
would you agree that X and Y are the same measurements?
yes,
X equals Y.
equals y.
Let's see. Would you just do two more, and then we'll be done? Okay. Yeah, I don't want to do all the rest. Maybe we'll do that as a warm up next tomorrow. But let's do number 11 and number 12, and then we'll call it good for today. Again, we're going to name it, and then this time we're going to figure out the angle measurements for a question mark, okay? So what would you call this angle and this angle? What is that? What's the name of it? Again, still the same type of question. Let's name it, and then actually let's figure out the angle measurement. Very good, Jessica. Anybody else? What will be the name for that? Usually I don't really care about people memorizing the names and this and that, but the reason why I'm insisting you guys to name it is because each name or the relationship has a specific relationship, right? They are equal, or maybe they add up to be 180. So you have to be able to recognize that, okay? And so that's why I'm asking you guys the name. They are, again, you just focus on this part right here. You've got one line and one line. And this angle, and we want to find out that angle. Isn't that vertical angle again? Very good. So that's a vertical. And vertical angles are equal to each other, right? So what is the question mark? Question mark is going to be also 102 degrees. Does that make sense? All right, let's do the last one. Okay, we are almost done, guys. How would you name number 12? It's this angle and this angle. Very good, Logan. You've got it. Anybody else? They are outside of two parallel lines. So that's exterior. One is on the left side, one is on the right side. So that's alternate. It is alternate exterior. And alternate exterior, oh, that's interior. Like alternate exterior angles, they are equal to each other. Right? So what is the question mark going to be? It's gonna be the same thing. It's 108 degrees. Okay. How are you guys? Scale of 1 to 5, where are you? You've got it? 5? Maybe still 3? Is anybody feeling like a 2 or 1, even 1? Okay. You doing okay? Very good. Very good. All right. I think this is a good place to end for today. If you still have a difficulty of identifying, if you want me to go over, yeah, so this is the assignment. Okay, so here's the assignment for today. Okay, this is the homework. So please make sure that you take a picture of that. Nice job, Leo. That looks really good. Please make sure you take a picture of it and then send it in. Okay, so you guys have a great day, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Take care, guys. Again, if you need any more help, please remain in the class, and I will let's go over on a few more questions. Okay. Did anybody need to see the notes still? All right. Have a great day, guys. Does anybody need any help? Does anybody need to see any part of the notes? Well, Abigail, if you want to see the notes, here it is. Basically, this is all the notes. Okay. I don't know if you want to take a picture of that. You probably want to watch the video later on, but so yeah, maybe it didn't quite make sense of what we are talking about, or maybe you've got kind of gist of it. There are 4 of them that we've learned: corresponding angles, alternate interior angles, same side, interior, alternate exterior. You need to be able to recognize those. Okay. And I will try to upload the video as soon as the class is done. Yeah, will you be okay? Yeah. All right. Hey, Leo, are you doing okay? Okay, I'm going to shut it down, okay? And I will see you tomorrow, Leo. Take care.